Okay, I'm going to be teaching us how to measure for a jumpsuit. It's very simple, it's not hard. So before you measure for a jumpsuit, always make sure that your customer is wearing a trouser or a short. Do you understand? You don't measure for a jumpsuit when your customer is wearing a skate or a gown. Do you understand what I mean? Like, it's not like you cannot measure. You can, but at the end of the day, it's going to make you and the customer uncomfortable. The customer might be ashamed of showing parts of her body. Do you understand? Why you might also be ashamed of putting your hand in one or two places. You guys understand? So, in order to avoid all those distractions, all you have to do is to tell your customer to come with a trouser or a short. Anything that can at least make her, widen up her leg for you during measurement. So that's it. So next thing we are going to be doing now is, as you can see, there are different ways to measure for a jumpsuit of a trouser. Do you understand? But for this particular tutorial, this is what I'll be teaching us. Now, all I want you to do is, first of all, hope we all know that a jumpsuit, the one we're actually working on, has a half length. Do you understand? So, and there's something about half length. According to some customers, when you finish making a jumpsuit for them, you notice that some of them will tell you, please, I did not tell you, I don't want my half length to be starting from here. It's too down. The half length is too down. While some of them will tell you, the half length is too up. Do you understand? So first of all, make sure you ask your customer. Just try to know if she has insight, like if she has knowledge of what she actually wants to make. You understand? So ask your customer, like, where exactly does she want her half length to be? If she doesn't point out anywhere, if she asks you to do your job, all you have to do is, let me show you something. All you have to do is, from the underboss point, are you seeing it? Measure out like 3 inches to 4 inches. Do you understand? That is where the half length is supposed to be. Yes, from 3 inches to 4 inches, depending on whichever one you want to use. Okay, but in case the customer tells you, please, I want it to be around here. Yeah? Now, by me looking at it, it's not looking upward though. It's not. That's what she actually wants. Now, another reason why some persons usually want their now, let's say in a situation she wants it to be here. Yes, now we've seen a lot of jumpsuits now that has half length here. We've seen it, like plenty of people have it. Yes, I've seen it like many times. Yeah, it might look odd to you, but it's not. I've seen jumpsuits that is from here. I've seen jumpsuit that, okay, what are you even trying to tell me? From here, it's not like a normal trouser. Yes, now. Wait, what is really even a jumpsuit? Like we said, it's the top bodice and the trouser. Shade. Now, I've seen jumpsuit like, when you are looking at it, it seems as if the person is tucking in, while the person is not tucking in. And you guys have also seen some dresses that is not, there are some dresses that are not jumpsuits, that are clothes that people tucked in. But sometimes when you look at the picture, you think that it is a jumpsuit. Do you understand? So, whichever place the customer actually wants does not mean if the customer tells you that I want it to be here. Do you understand? What I mean is, within that waist region, whichever place the customer wants is the person's choice. Now let me still tell you another thing. I know this thing might be looking so awkward for all of us, but let me still tell you. If your customer says, I want it to be around here, that is the normal place that we usually in the half length shape, and at the end of the day, the customer tells you that, please, Ebus, I would like it to have a pocket. And do you know what the customer is trying to tell you in it? Like, the customer is trying to tell you that, indirectly, I don't want it here. I want it around here. Because let me tell you the truth here. Now, the customer does not really know about this thing. Now, if the customer says, I want it to be here. Yes, the customer still wants a pocket. You can either tell the customer, man, except the pocket is going to be just like a, fashion design. If not, there's no way your pocket, like, how can you, anytime you want to put hand, it's just be hanging. You'll be doing something like this. Do you understand? So, you can either pull it down. Do you understand? So that whenever you want to put your hand, it's as if you're putting your hand in your trouser, normal trouser. Do you understand? So you can, it's your choice to tell the customer, except it's going to be designed. Some persons actually make it for design's sake, not that they really want it like that. Do you understand? Okay, so that's it. Now in a situation where your customer does not know anything and wants you to make a very nice jumpsuit for her, all you have to do is from the underbust around this region, are you seeing it like 3 to 4? Or that's all you have to do. So next thing I want you to do is, at that point, get your elastic band or any other thing. You can even use your normal tape measurement. Now tie it like this. The reason why you are tying this thing, you are using it as a guide. Do you understand? You are using it as a guide. Now look at it. And it will also help your customer determine exact place she wants it. You understand? Sometimes when we are measuring, customer will tell you, I want it here. That's not really what they want. It's just that, I don't know, there is this, this thing they say, stage fright or what, shade? Customers even do have it. When they are around a tailor, any tailor, they don't usually say what they want because they feel that you will laugh at them or people around there will be laughing at them. So they just tell you one or two in a very fast way. If you tell them, is it here? You say, yes, it's here. It's not really here. But when you tie this thing, they'll be like, this place is too up a boost now. Just pull it down. Then immediately all you have to do is to pull it down. Do you understand? When a situation where the customer does not know anything, still take your, say, measure. Let's say 3. Are you seeing it? Then I pull it down. Okay. Let's say I want 3.5. Are you seeing it? Okay. I'll check around here also. 3.5. So you can see the half length is okay at this very moment. Then another thing I still want you to do is at the tie. Check whether that camera is getting this.
Yes.
Okay, at the tie, are you seeing it? Just tell the customer to kind of push her leg a little bit. You understand? So that you can put your elastic like this. So take this and tie on the tie. So now when you tie it, please, there's something I really want you to do. See, I want you to notice that if you do like this will really go at it. It will really be touching the crotch very, very well. Do you understand? It will really be touching the crotch very, very well. Please, I advise you not to leave it like that. Please don't do it like that. All you have to do is, okay, now look at it. All you have to do, please don't push this thing to this point. All you have to do is to bring it a little bit down. Do you understand? Bring it a little bit down for like 1 inch or ½ inch down, depending. Yes, now see, this is the crotch. Are you seeing it? This is where the crotch has ended. So all you have to do is to bring it a little bit down like this. So position it very, very well. So you can see, I think we are good to go. Please, whenever you are measuring the person, especially around this side, don't like feel shy so that you will not make mistake. Because one thing about jumpsuit is that if you make mistake around this crotch region, it is done like you've really made a mistake. There is no ways to, you can actually correct it, but it's going to frustrate you. That's just the truth. So when you are done placing it like this, are you saying it? Okay, so we are not going to measure. We are not going to measure. Please, I also want you to know that this measurement is mostly in 2 ways. We have the one we call the full measurement method, and we have the one we call the half-length measurement method. The full measurement method is, example now, when we want to measure, we start from this shoulder, you seen it, and be measuring everything full. Bust points, under bust points, half length, crotch length. Are you seeing it? Jumpsuit, knee length, etc. That is the full length method. We are never going to remove it from the shoulder. Are you seeing it? Why the half length method is the one we measure for the up separate, the upper bodies. Are you seeing it? Bust point, under bust point, half length. Then when we measure half length, we stop. Do you understand? Then we now start from here. Crotch length. Are you seeing it? Knee and the full trouser length. Do you understand? So which one are we going to be using? I think we are going to be using the half length method. But at the end of the day, there's something I always advise my students to do. Don't just pick one. Do both whenever you're working with a customer. Please do both. Why did I say that? So as for you to cross-check later, to know whether your measurement actually corresponds. In a situation where it does not correspond at all, that means there is an error in your measurement which has to be corrected, and that will help you in future. But in a situation where you check it, it's corresponding, only that, negligible measurement, that means it's really corresponding. You have to use it like that, it's going to work. Do you understand? Okay, so let's start. So all we are going to be doing now is, let's measure the underbust length. Someone should be copying it down. So now, from shoulder, measuring the underbust, we have 15 inches. Whenever you measure this part of the bust, are you seeing it? Come to the other part. Because one thing that most of us don't know is that, we know, but whenever we are measuring, we don't take it into consideration that one bust is usually bigger than the other bust. So sometimes the underbust length of this one might be 14, while the underbust length of this one might be 15. So for me, I usually advise my students to use the longer one. Do you understand? To use the longer one. Please, you are using the longer one depending on whatever reason you have. Do you understand? In a situation whereby you want to do push-up, I will advise you to use the shorter one. Do you understand? So that everything will be going up at the same time. Do you understand? But in most cases, I use the longer one. So let's do it again. Okay, so this one is 15. I think this one is a little bit more. Around 15.5. Do you understand? 15.5. Okay, so the truth is that I'm going to take the one off. See, there's another thing I really want to show us. See my material? It's kind of stretchy. Are you seeing it? So I don't mind. I'm going to be using the 15 inches. Do you understand? So please, I want you to know that all these things has to be taken into consideration. I know when some of us are working, we don't take many things into consideration. You're working for Ankara, use the same method. When you're working for a stretching material, use the same method. No, there's supposed to be some changes, little changes. That's why you will be a professional. So let's continue. So next is the half length. So by me looking at this, when we place it, you notice that the half length here is how many? 18. Yes, you just added the 3 inches. I think that's what you did. But what we have here, are you seeing? It's 18. It's okay. That is the 3 inches. Remember the half length. If you still want it to go down, it is still your opportunity now to pull it down. Do you understand? But what we have here now is 18. I think I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the half length being 18 inches. Are you saying it? Okay. So is there any place for us to measure? We are not using full method. We are not using full method. But let's still hold it from here and do a full method before we go back to the half method. So now from here to the thigh, from the 18 down to the thigh, we have 31. Are you seeing it? We have how many? 31. Okay. Okay, from there to the knee, we get 43 inches. Are you seeing it? Then down to trouser, down to full jumpsuit length, we have 44. We have 64. Down to full length, we have how many? 64. As you can see, she's actually longer than this particular tape. So now, and we all know that this tape, from here down to here, at least on every tape. So when I say at least, see, after this 60, from here to here, at least on every tape is at least 2 inches. So usually I assume that the whole of the tape, even with this particular empty space, is what, 62. So since it is 62 and it's still here, and I want it to flow so that when she's wearing a heel, it's going to be fine. Do you understand? So I added extra 2 inches, making it what, 64 inches. Do you understand? Okay, so when we are done measuring this part, all we have to do is to complete our half length method. So from this half length, go over to this side. What do you have? What you have here now is 13 inches. 13 inches. 13 inches. Okay, 13 inches. Then to the knee, what you have is 25 inches. Then full length, what you have is 46.5. Okay. So that's it. Hope you guys have seen how to get the measurement. There's nothing much in it. Like I said, there are also different ways of getting this particular measurement. There are these methods that you have to sit down. Do you understand? Yes, you have to sit down. All those methods are also very, very much correct. Do you understand? But there's something about sewing. There's something about working on all these things. If you notice, when I was even measuring, I was adding ease too. Do you understand? I added what I call the ease. Remember when I say you should not put it at the extreme crotch region. Do you understand? You should come a little bit down with like 1 inch. Do you understand? That is, I'm adding ease to the jumpsuit. The ease is for so that when you sit down, that is the same thing that even those people, when they measure, they are sitting down, they are actually physically adding the ease. Do you understand? They are physically adding the ease. Now there's another thing I want to let you know. The problem with jumpsuit is usually this crotch of a thing. Yes, nothing else. That's when people are talking about jumpsuit. Jumpsuit is not just cutting upper bodies and the the trouser, just join together. Anybody can do that, but can you make a jumpsuit that will fit everybody using those particular people's measurements? Can you do it? That's the major thing. So that is why jumpsuit has secrets. Now, if you notice most of the ready-to-wears, you notice that the jumpsuits they make, they never use non-stretchy materials. Number one, I'm coming, I'm not done. They never use non-stretchy materials to make most of their jumpsuits. They mostly use stretchy material. Then, some of those that make use of non-stretchy materials, notice it very well, it's mostly not fully fitted. It's mostly not fully fitted like exactly the person's shape. I'm talking about ready to wear. Do you understand? It's mostly not. Some of them, you notice that for them to make it fitted, they're using non-stretchy materials. You notice that some of them smoke it. It's like, you know, you can smoke a jumpsuit. You can make a smoked jumpsuit. Do you understand? Either full or partial smoked jumpsuit. What do I mean by full smoked jumpsuit is, you guys know smoked dress, using elastic thread to sew clothes. You can actually use it and sew the whole part of the jumpsuit. Do you understand? I think I will do that topic very soon. I've not done it before and I hardly see it online. Do you understand? I will do it on a jumpsuit. But talking about a gown, I think I have it already. Smoked gown. Do you understand? So you see some of them, they do it like that. There's more, the one that is most common is partial smoking. What do I mean by partial smoking? You notice that most jumpsuits, when it comes to this half length, they smoke like 1, 2, 3, or just only one, or they put elastic there. Do you understand? All these things are just to run away from the crotch problem. Now, what does these people do? What do they do? What they do is that if the crotch length is supposed to be 13 inches, they use something like 16 inches. Do you understand? That means it's very essential. Then now what they will do when they smoke here, and when you wear it, you soon now use your hand and pull it up. Pull it up. Then now some part of it will be coming out like it will now become a design. Do you understand? You see it, you say, I like this jumpsuit. Actually, they did it for it to size people. Let it not be that when you wear it, the crotch is actually giving you a problem. So that's it. So most cases, we don't usually have non-stretchy materials that are fitted as ready to wear. Yes, because it will not be most people's size. It won't. You understand? Except it is stretching. I just want to, on your own, still check wherever all of you have jumpsuit. So you get jumpsuit. You know this thing I'm talking about. They hardly. Yes. Do you have any question?
If the person wants to sew the jumpsuit, maybe the person has stomach and she wants it in such a way that she will hide her later. I don't know how the stomach is. How?
This last one that I've just said.
Okay, will help.
Elastic.
Okay.
Just make it to be free. Everywhere, both width-wise and the length. Then put your elastic. Do you understand? That's it. Everly, when this thing is coming out, it has hidden your stomach. That's just it. That's what most people that have stomach, that's the kind of jumpsuit they wear. Yes, make it free, like you're wearing normal shirt and trouser. Do you understand? That's the kind of jumpsuits they like to wear. You know what I actually did now is the vertical measurements, which is the most important. The horizontal measurement, anybody can get it. Do you understand? So the vertical measurement is just what we've done. So let's finish the horizontal measurement, which is the round bust. We start from the round bust. So let's measure. Okay, so round bust, what we have here is 40.5. Now you guys should put it down. 40.5. This is when you are measuring, just measure. Do you understand? You can either put one of your finger or none. Okay, 40.5. Then the underbust, we have here 35.5. The navel can also be called the half length. What we have here, 35.5. So let's measure the hip. Whenever you want to measure the hip, make sure you are seeing the side part. Like see the original way of measuring the hip, if you ask me, whenever you're measuring the hip, make sure you are seeing the person's butt, like bum. Do you understand? Make sure that the tape actually goes through the
Under the belt.
no, on top of it. Yes. There's something that usually happens that makes us to get our measurements wrong. Whenever we measure, we are not looking at it. We don't know that the tape is hanging somewhere else. You understand? So you're supposed to look at it, make sure that it's passing through the bum itself. Do you understand? What I have here is 43.5. 43.5, which we can also say bracket 44. Yes, what's your normal width? Yes, so our measurement get point. Okay, let's measure the thigh. Now look at it. I know some of us, when we are measuring thigh, some of us usually go this way. Some of us go up like this so much. Now let me tell you the truth. When you're making a trouser for somebody, if you go like this, the truth is that you're going to make a nice trouser. Yes, you're going to make a trouser that is very free. for the person. Do you understand? But I want to tell you that this thing I've just done now and this thing is not the same. Are you seeing it? See, from that particular crotch part, are you seeing it? Just measure like this. Are you seeing? Now when you measure, even if you feel like you want to go up a little bit, just a little bit. Are you seeing it? A little bit, not so much as some of us used to do. When you do it like this, you are going through the bum bum. Just at the end of the year, you're increasing a lot. Yes, yes. So see, look at it here. Okay. What I have here is 27.5. So in other words, if I'm making this trouser, I'll be cutting with actually 28. That's what I'll be cutting with. Do you understand? So write it down there. So let's work on the knee. So now look at it. The original knee here is original knee is 17 inches. So now this 17 inches, I don't know, I usually want my students to always add like 1.5 to 2 inches to it. That means total of, if you're actually working on a, let's say, straight cut trouser, do you understand? Or even if you're working on a pencil trouser, please always add at least 1.5 inches to the fitted round knee measurement. It's very important. Do you understand? Except you are working with a stretchy material that you don't mind, even if here is tight. But if you are working on a very nice office trouser, please always add extra 1.5 to 2 inches to the knee measurement, please. Or another way of also getting it is when you measure fitted like this. When you measure fitted like this, just tell the person to, thank you, bend the leg. Are you seeing it? When the person bends the leg, automatically the tape will move. Allow it to move so that you end up getting whatever you have here. What I have here is 18.5. Are you seeing it? Means it actually added extra 1.5 to it. Share? Okay, so that is it. So talking about this particular point, it is not compulsory for you to measure here, depending on the type of trouser that the jumpsuit is going to have. So what I was saying is that, you know, most of us, when we measure like this, at the end of the day, it will not pass. Now, some customers will tell you to give them this fitted. Are you saying it? Now, just let the customer know that your material is not stretchy, so there's no way I can get it. You cannot be able to wear it. Except the material is stretchy, you can actually give it this fitted body. You understand? Trouser. Then, all you can do if it is not fitted, you want to do a comfortable pencil, is just keep checking it. As you can see, this one cannot pass. Are you seeing it? 11 is not going to pass. 12, I don't know whether 12 is going to pass. 12 might pass, but it's not going to pass on this tape because this tape is not a material. Do you understand? So now, another way of checking it out, instead of wasting your time like this, is by you ask the person to lift his or her leg. Okay, her leg. Now look at it. Place it like this. Now when you place it, as you can see, the one that comfortably will pass her leg is 13 inches. Are you seeing it? 13 inches. Now this doesn't mean that 12.5 or 12 cannot pass her leg, but it's because this is a tape. You understand? This tape is very, will I say, very rigid. You understand? So you like, it's 13 that is abnormal. So let's say I'm making a pencil trouser for her, I'm going to be using 13 inches, like the least. Or I can still choose to use 14 inches, depending on the choice of the customer. Do you understand? Okay, that's it. So the final measurement I'm going to be doing here is the shoulder. Remember, we've not done the sleeve measurement, which so I know that all of us know how to do.
What do you call that thing just made?
Ankle measurement. Okay, now look at it. The shoulder, we're going to be measuring her shoulder. Okay, the shoulder is 16 inches. 16 inches. Hope I know all of us know how to measure the shoulder. Look at it from this collarbone side. Are you seeing it? The bone that is joining this hand and the shoulder. Are you seeing it? From here, you feel it, no matter how big the person is. Then, but if the person is too big and has parts enough that you cannot even be able to feel it at all you have to do is always look at these points, the armpit point. Are you seeing? So from here, just go, see, I want to show you something. If this is the armpit, just go like this region. That is where the collarbone is. Do you understand? Okay, from there, just measure. At the end of the day, what we have is 16 inches. So this is how you do other measurements. So we are going to be doing the drafting at this very moment.